Hi and hello, I am Athena Pondian here. Welcome to the Anatomy for the Biomedical Engineers classroom once again. Today we are going to discuss about the next topic of the digestive system. That is, we are just going to listed out some of the most important enzymes that is purposely used for the digestion process. That all we are going to list it out, and purposely we are going to see the functions of each and every enzymes in particular. Come, let me start the class now. Digestion is the process of breakdown of the food materials into smaller and smaller components. For that we need help from the enzymes. So with the help of the enzymes only, the particular food materials is turned into the smaller and smaller components that is very comfortable for absorption and assimilation. On the basis of the targeted substrates, we can able to classify our digestive enzymes into 4 different types. That is, the first is lipases. The lipases particularly targeting the fatty acids. It is help these lipases. There are so many lipases are there. For example, lingual lipases are there, pancreatic lipases are there, some of the gastric lipases are there. There are so many lipases that is present in a human body that is purposely for the digestive act as a digestive enzyme. These lipases are particularly for breakdowning the fatty acids into fats and oils. Okay, that is the target substrates. These lipases particularly used for breakdowning the fatty acids into the fats and the oils. Then the next enzyme is proteases and peptidases. This proteases and peptidases, this is purposely for breakdowning the proteins into the small peptides and amino acids. These both are considered, this both target is protein. These two enzymes are particularly targeting the proteins that turns into the small peptides and the amino acids. Okay, then the next is amylases. Of course, we know that the saliva in the salivary gland is particularly secreting the enzyme called the amylase. This particular amylases is for breakdowning the carbohydrates such as starch and the sugars into the simple carbohydrate, for example glucose. Okay, this is particularly for breakdown the carbohydrates. And then this particular nucleases is particularly for, that is targeting the substrate as nucleic acid. It will targeting the nucleic acids and split into the nucleotides. So according to the target substrates, our digestive enzymes are classified into the 4 different classifications. So under this, most of the digestive enzymes are coming under any of these particular classifications. Okay, come let me see the area wise, that is the region wise enzymes and which one is coming under this particular classifications and everything. Come let me see. First region is mouth, because the digestion starts from the mouth. So of course we know that mouth consists of salivary gland. It is producing the enzymes called amylase and lingual lipase. This is the most important enzymes that is secreted in the salivary glands. Okay, so this particular amylase particularly for breakdowning the carbohydrates. This lingual lipase, that is secreted from the serous gland of the salivary gland. This particular lingual lipase is particularly for breakdowning the fatty acids. Okay, so this is the initial stage of the digestion. Okay. The next region, oesophagus. Of course, oesophagus doesn't have any enzymes, any hormones, nothing that. That is, it is act only as a traveling path. Okay. The next region is stomach. The stomach consists of, there are so many enzymes are there, but most important enzymes are gastric enzymes and the pepsin. Pepsin is secreted from the pepsinogen. Okay, the pepsinogen is activated to convert it into the pepsin. These pepsin and pepsinogens are coming under the proteases and peptidases of the classifications. Okay, this gastric is especially for crushing the food materials. Okay, then this particular pepsin and pepsinogen, pepsin is purposely for that is breakdowning of the proteins into the small peptides and the amino acids. Okay, so these are all the two main important enzymes that is secreted in the stomach for breakdowning the food materials. Okay, and then along with the two enzymes, we know that the oxyntic cell secreting the hydrochloric acid. So along with the hydrochloric acid, the food material is crushed with the help of gastric juice enzymes and the pepsin enzymes. Okay, so this is what happen, the enzyme activation happen in the stomach. Then the next region is small intestine. So the initial portion of the small intestine is duodenum. Of course, we know that duodenum play a main vital role. Okay, so once the food material is converted from the bolus to the chyme in the stomach, the particular chyme, that is the chyme is nothing but crushing of the food material of the bolus. Okay, that particular chyme is fully concentrated because of the hydrochloric acid is mixed over the chyme. That concentration will be slowed down by the presence of alkaline material, that is bicarbonate, that is present in the duodenum. Okay, of course you know that duodenum consists of Brunner's gland. That Brunner's gland especially secreting bicarbonate. That bicarbonate will convert this concentration into the alkaline material, that is acidic material into the alkaline material. Along with that, pancreatic juice and the liver that contain some of the enzymes that will also help to break down some of the food materials. Okay, this particular pancreas, that is along with the small intestine duodenum, the pancreatic duct consists of some of the enzymes. That enzymes are called as the trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen. This is the most important enzyme that is secreted from the pancreatic juice. This trypsinogen is an inactive enzyme. Also, this chymotrypsinogen is also an inactive enzyme. Once it is secreted from the pancreas, it is secreted in an inactive manner, that is trypsinogen manner and the chymotrypsinogen. When it is activated means, once it reaches the duodenum through the pancreatic duct, it will combine along with the bicarbonate of the duodenum. This trypsinogen turns into active trypsin. This chymotrypsinogen, once it reaches the duodenum, it will turns into the active chymotrypsin. Okay, so the trypsinogen and the chymotrypsinogen is converted into the active enzyme, that is trypsin and chymotrypsin in the duodenum itself. That will help. Of course, you know that the pepsin and peptidases is especially for breakdowning the proteins into smaller amino acids and the small peptides. So that is what this particular pancreatic juice is helpful. Okay, so along with these trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen, pancreatic juice also contain amylase. That is called as the pancreatic amylase. Of course, we know that what is the use of the amylase. Amylase is purposely for breakdowning the carbohydrate into the smaller simple carbohydrate glucose. Okay, so along with that, trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen, this pancreatic amylase is also helpful to break down the food materials. So in the duodenum process, the maximum amount of enzymes are helpful for the digestion process. Okay, so duodenum also contain the bicarbonates from the Brunner's gland. The pancreatic juice contains three most important enzymes, that is trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, and along with the pancreatic amylase. So these are all the major enzymes I am telling you. Apart from this, there are so many minor enzymes that are also secreted from the pancreatic juice itself. Okay, so you must remember these main important enzymes only. Okay, small intestine region. In the inner lining of the small intestine region consists of some of the brush border enzymes. That enzymes are also responsible for breakdown some of the food materials in the chyme. So here some of the enzymes are eripsin, maltase, lactase and sucrase. These maltase, lactase and sucrase are responsible for breakdown some of the carbohydrate families. This eripsin are responsible for breakdown some of the protein family. That is, eripsin is a enzyme that is secreted in the inner lining of the small intestine, that is purposely for breakdowning of the peptones into the polypeptides. Then this maltase is responsible for breakdown the maltose into the glucose. Then this lactase is responsible for breakdowning the lactose into the glucose and galactose. Then this sucrose is responsible for breakdowning the sucrose into the glucose and the fructose. So the last three enzymes are responsible for breakdowning some of the carbohydrate family. and this eripsin is responsible for breakdown some of the protein family. So these are all the enzymes that is purposely secreted in the inner lining of the small intestine. So that's all about the today's class. These are all the list of enzymes that is very helpful for the process of digestion. Without these enzymes, the food material should not be turned into smaller and smaller components. At the same time, each and every enzymes are responsible for breakdowning some of the target substrates. Okay, so remember all these particular enzymes. Apart from this, there are so many minor enzymes are also there, but you need to remember these kind of enzymes. Okay, that is very helpful for our future. So in the next class, we are just holding this unit now itself. In the next class, we are going to start the next unit, that is excretory system. Thank you.